Hi again, everybody. Today for personal finance, you are in lesson 27. That's Thursday. It will be April 2nd for odd blocks and Friday, April 3rd for even blocks. And so that's where we're at, lesson 27. If you take a look here, there's three things that I need you to do. The first thing is case studies on renting versus owning. So I'm going to hop right into that. There are 5 different case studies that I want you to look at here, right? So there's case study 1, 2, and then 4 and 3 are out of order. Don't worry about it. Just put number 4 in the 4 slot, number 3 in the 3 slot, and then number 5 there. Tell me what each person should do. Do you think it's best for Neil to rent or buy a vehicle based on what you know about him? Same thing for Cam, Lisa, Stephanie, and Fikret. All right. So just tell me what you think each person should do for each scenario based on what you know, and then tell me why, right? So I see that you see here that you need to have justification for your decision. So that's that first one. The second one here will take a little bit longer, right? And that's buying a house. All right. So it says here that it's time to find your dream home, but don't forget you're going to need a way to pay for it, right? So what you're going to do is look for your ideal home in a city that you think you would like to live in when you get your first big girl, big boy jobs, right? So step one is going to be determine your price range here, right? And so you do that by looking back at your My Life, My Decision research in colleges and careers, or you can look at my future career assignment for your salary. So if I take a look back at this, here's my example, remember, right, is being a logistician, right? So I just take the salary. If I want to live in Minnesota, I take the salary from Minnesota. If I want to take the United States, I take the salary from the United States, right? And then I'm going to multiply that, just like it says here. I multiply it by 2 and by 3 to get my price range. All right. So I would take $75,000 and I multiply it by 2. Okay, so 150,000, or I take $75,000 and I multiply it by 3 and I get $225,000. So I cannot spend more than this. This isn't perfect science, all right, but that's kind of where we're going to, it's just going to be a rough estimate for us, all right? So we don't want to spend more than 3 times our salary in this scenario, right? So if it were me, I would put 150 to $225,000 if that's the career I was going to use. All right. You go back and you use your own career. Some of you are going to have higher price ranges than others. Then you determine a city and state that you would like to live in, and you go to Google and you type in that city and state, and followed by the words real estate, right? So I go to Google and I type in, let's just say that I want to live in Duluth, Minnesota, real estate. All right. And I want to make sure that none of these say ad in front of them because a lot of times those aren't the actual websites. So make sure they don't say the word ad in front of them or there's like an ad icon. All right. And I'm just going to use realtor.com just because I'm familiar with it. It's a little bit easier to use. All right. And I can go to newest listings if I want to. I can organize by price. All right. I look through and I find something. Let's say that, yeah, I like this one, but guess what? It's not in my price range. Remember, I need to find one for less than $225,000. All right. So let's say that I like this one. Let's say I like this one, right? Let's say I've looked for a while and I finally decide that this is the one that I want, right? I've looked at pictures of it. I decide, yep, it's good. It's in an area of the town that I like, whatever. Okay, $220,000. All right. So that's what I do is I figure out the price. Okay. As soon as I've got the price, I need to calculate the loan amount. All right, considering a 20% down payment. So I take the house price and I multiply it by 0.8. Right. So again, in my scenario, it's $220,000 times 0.8 is going to give me $176,000. That's what I need to borrow. That is my loan amount. All right. So I come back here and I put in my loan amount is $176,000. That's how much I need to borrow from the bank to make this happen, right? Then I go and I use this loan amount mortgage calculator. All right. So I'm going to go into this mortgage calculator. And I've got 3 different scenarios that I'll need to plug in numbers for, right? So this is, it says how much will my loan cost. It's going to load here. My total loan amount is $176,000. That does not change, right? But the interest rate will. And then also, I'm not going to have a monthly payment yet. It's not going to, it says enter only one of the fields, right? So my first example here says a 3% interest rate, right? So I put in 3, and then it says length of loan in months, all right? So how many months is a 15-year mortgage going to be? I can do that by just simply going 12, right? Because there's 12 months in a year times 15 years. It's 180 months, right? So I put in 180 months. I click calculate. Bam, it's got it for me. So it shows me my total payment amount. It also shows me my total or my minimum monthly payment. All right. And then it tells me how much it's going to be on top of the cost of the house, right? So this total payment amount is going to be what I put in, right? Total amount paid over the loan term. And then the minimum monthly payment is going to be right from there. Okay. All right. And then the last question asks, which one of these mortgages are you going to choose and why? So just answer that. And then finally here, right, on our lesson, it says go to this Google form. And I just want you to pick, this one will take less than 5 minutes here. Pick a city you'd like to live in after high school. Okay. For me, it'd be Mankato, right? Tell me which class period you're in, right? And then put in your name so that way I can figure out who's looking at what there. All right. That's all I need from you for this class today. Let me know if you have any questions.